Hello and welcome to the stream. My name is Liz. This is Coffee with Liz. Get ready to hang out with some of the coolest people on the planet. Today, you are going to chit chat, hang out with people that enjoy the fabulous hobby that is treasure hunting. There's going to be people here that enjoy metal detecting, magnet fishing, bottle digging, dump digging, coin roll hunting, gold prospecting, urbex. Did I say magnet fishing? Oh my goodness. All those people are going to be in that chat, and they're going to be from all over the planet. If that is something that gets you all warm and excited, my goodness, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And when you do, you know, you got to hit that notification bell. You got to tell YouTube that you want to be advised whenever I go live or upload a video. So right on. My goodness. Everybody take like a second and a half. Hit the like button on this stream. Not only helps the stream to rank a little bit higher, but just one day we might end up as a suggested stream on somebody's homepage, and the number of people in that chat is gonna like explode. That is a really, really good thing. So everybody collectively hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate that. I'm gonna say hello to everybody in the chat first, and then, my goodness, we have a special guest, as you can see down in the, we have a special guest. Rob, the history digger, is in the green room. I'm going to say hello to all of you, and then I will bring Rob out. So I'm going to start at the very, very top of the chat. Gene P. Actually, you know what? Gene P was the first one in the chat, but I need a slurp because it's cold. And get ready for a very shameless plug in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Digging Canuck mugs are available in the Teespring store. They make a great Christmas gift, even a stocking stuffer. So get yours in the Teespring store. Did I say that was a shameless plug? Yes. Oh my goodness. Gene P, thank you for joining the chat. I do appreciate that. Charles Fitzpatrick as well, front and center. Treasure Talk, that is Jeff in the stream chat as well. Thank you so very much. Check out Treasure Talk. They have a live stream on Monday nights at 7 p.m. Great guests, great prizes. My goodness. Check them out if you're not subscribed to the channel. You got to be subscribed in order to get in on the giveaways. That's only fair. So do that. Todd Carson says, good morning, Liz. Good morning, Todd. Right on. Did I say? Yeah, I did say Charles Fitzpatrick. Peterson, PP Metal Detecting. That is my friend Peter from the Czech Republic. And I heard from a little bird that Peter's going to be celebrating his 2-year anniversary on YouTube soon. So definitely get ready for something wonderful from Peter. And Peter does speak fluent English. But as I always said, never be afraid to check out someone's YouTube channel, watch their videos when they're in another language that you don't understand, because fines are fines everywhere on the planet. As well, you can join their premieres or even their live streams by having another window open to Google Translate. And it's very, very easy to flip from your screens and translate something and be involved in the chat. Oh, who is that? Oh my goodness. Welcome to the channel. Oh my goodness. I wish I had a better oh my gosh, who was that? I can't tell who that was. But welcome to the channel. Right on. Oh my goodness. So yeah, get involved with other other channels in other countries. You're missing out if you don't do that. Oh my goodness. Who else is in the chat? I said that. Our guest, Rob, the history digger, is in the chat. You can send messages to Rob, and through when I bring him on, if you have a question for Rob, put an @digging Canuck. It'll highlight on this side, and I will bring the question up. Straight up metal detecting. That is Mr. Tripwire. Wonderful to have you here. Andrew T in the house. Andrew was a guest on Treasure Tales on Thursday. Great stories. I think we're going to have him back to talk some more. Looter 8, Frank and or Tyler. My goodness, they were out yesterday bottle digging in the cold. That's all you need to say. Metal detecting these 6 with Prospector Steve in the house. Steve, thank you for joining. Liam, Lutz, Hamilton. Right on. Liam says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Liam. Wonderful to have you here. Oh my goodness, I am scrolling. Steve Shepard. Steve, wonderful to have you here. Thank you. My goodness. The electrician free territory of Trieste. That's Italy. So we have North America, we have Italy, and we have the Czech Republic so far. Right on. Coin Junkie AG says, hey. Surfside Dan, good morning from Myrtle Beach. Well, I'd like to be in Myrtle Beach right now. Ron Stig in the Midwest. Hello. John Franklin. Right on, John. Right on. Wonderful to have you here. Beyond the Adventure. Right on. Says, hi, Liz and Riz. Oh, wonder who that is. Georginius. Holy smokes. Slovenia in the house. Europe is well represented. Right on, Europe. Right on. Georginius. My goodness. He actually is another detectorist that can speak English. Wonderful finds in the forests of Slovenia. Definitely check out Georginius. Oh my goodness. I am still scrolling. Chris, Yeti Mountain Trading. Right on. The Numismaniac. Right on. Two Taverns says, yo. Or should I say, yo. Right on. Who else is here? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I do not want to miss saying hello to any of you. Oh my gosh. Can I highlight this? I can. Santa. Oh, Santa. I know him. Santa Claus himself, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. He says, good morning, bright and sunny here in the north. Ho. Wonderful. Everybody be on your best behavior. You don't want to get into the naughty books. You don't want to get a lump of coal. My goodness, Santa is in the chat. Wonderful, Santa. Wonderful to have you here. Oh my goodness. I am going to go out on a limb and say that I have said hello to each and every one of you. If I missed saying hello, and that is entirely possible, it is not intentional. There's a lot of stuff going on my screens. Then put an @digging Canuck. It's going to highlight on my side. I'm going to see it and I'm going to go, holy smokes, I forgot to say hello to you. So right on. I'm going to take another slurp. Just want to say before we get things started that the weather outside is frightful. Maybe not here in the igloo, but the Niagara region of Southern Ontario, as well as New York, is getting hammered with snow. I saw something today that Buffalo received. I think they said it was 72 inches in one day. 72 inches. Or was it 62? Was it 62 or 72? Might have been 72 or 70 inches in one day. Well, that doesn't matter. That's a lot of snow. My goodness. If you are in one of those affected areas, please be safe. Don't drive. I don't know how you're even going to get to your car. I saw pictures of people up on roofs shoveling the snow off the roofs. I can't even imagine having like 6 feet of snow on the roof. I don't even know. They were not made to have that kind of snow on there. But absolutely insane. We're still in November. My goodness. This is lake effect snow. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like I said, though, stay where you are, hunker down. My goodness. Don't go anywhere until the city has somewhat plowed the roads. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Please be safe. There is nothing urgent other than staying home and being safe. My goodness. Right on, right on. Here in the igloo, we had a very light dusting. I don't even think we got an inch. A centimeter, maybe a little bit over a centimeter, but it's cold. Got to tell you, it is very cold. I went out detecting with my friend John on Friday morning. He has a new permission. It was a field. It was a horse farm. My goodness. We were out in the one paddock, and I got to say, I was freezing my ninnies off. Am I allowed to say that? I froze my ninnies off. Oh my goodness. I did manage to get a couple of good finds, and that is good. But holy smokes, got to say, cold. I am reaching out to the community out there. If you have experienced or used, this is the people who detect in the winter, but I am looking for a really, really good pair of gloves or mittens or something that will keep my fingertips warm. My fingertips freeze when I get out there, especially when I'm holding a metal shovel in one hand and, trying to press the buttons on my detector. If you have experience or you know of a pair of gloves that will keep my fingers warm and stop them from freezing when I am out there, then please, please, please send an email to diggingcanuck@gmail.com. If you know a glove manufacturer, just send me the name of the manufacturer and I will definitely reach out to them, because it's not fun going metal detecting when your fingertips are freezing. Not fun. So yeah, if you can help me out, if you can do me a solid, then please do. All right. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to bring in my guest. I'm going to bring him in. Here he is, right here. Let's pop him up. All right. My goodness, everybody who doesn't know. Oh my goodness. Rob, this is Rob, the history digger. Rob, welcome to this stream.
Good morning, Liz. Good morning, everybody.
Rob, for those people who are in the chat who perhaps have not heard about Rob, the history digger, just can you please provide just a brief synopsis?
That's easy for you to say. That's easy. Hi, everybody. Yes, I am a longtime fan of Digging Canuck and Liz, and I've been metal detecting for a few years. I have a YouTube channel, The History Digger, where I feature the wonderful adventures I go on with my friends, and I just love this hobby for so many reasons. But I'm recently retired this past year in March. I live in Wisconsin, and as part of the retirement equation, my wife and I purchased a small RV. So we have been spending this past year RVing around the United States and metal detecting, as well as not in the RV, of course, but I've recently made a few trips overseas as well. But that's a little bit about me.
Excellent. Now, I thought we could first talk, Rob, about the detector that you use. Let's just get that, let's get that out of the way. What detector are you currently using?
Okay, I'm currently using the 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏 2. And my backup machine is a Equinox 𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗏 800. And I've kind of had an evolution of machines like a lot of people. I started a while back with some other machines that have kind of led me to where I am today. But I have to say, I'm very pleased with the 𝗓𝗏 2. There's a few minor quirks in any machine. That is not an exception. But boy, I'll tell you what, I just love it. I think I received it in April or May. So, I'm still learning the machine despite having a whole summer. But
yeah.
And Liz, you actually had a hand in introducing me to XP. I recall seeing you speak about your XP ORX, and I'm like, what is this thing? Oh my God. And I had one of those too, loved it. But I love XP.
Do you still have the ORX?
No, as part of my upgrade to the 𝗓𝗏 2, I sold the ORX to a good friend of mine who's enjoying it. But I mean, I'm sure you've talked about it. If people aren't familiar with XP, it's a manufacturer based out of France, and it's a wonderful performing machine. But I'll tell you what, it's the lightest metal detector on the planet. It's very ergonomical. Yeah. And interestingly, everything is wireless. There's no wire, from the coil. The coil's wireless. It's integrated with a control unit, which is integrated with your speakers and your pinpointer. I can't say enough great things about it.
Exactly. And I got to say that when using a wired headset to a machine, you dig a hole. Sometimes you got you got to take your headset off, put it down, then put it back on. Once you go wireless, you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I survived being wired to a detector.
Oh my gosh, it's so true. I'm on my 𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗏. Sometimes, so I'll do some, in the same day I'll go out. When I was using the 𝗦𝗛𝗢𝗏, I would do some hunting on land. Maybe I might hit a beach. So for a while, I had a pair of 𝗤𝗎𝗓 headphones. They're waterproof headphones that are wired. And, I would just take that out with me. Worked great. But yeah, every once in a while, you bend down, you kneel on the cord, just gets in the way.
Yes.
Yeah. So with XP, they have some interesting headphones. The stock headphones that come with the RX, with the 𝗓𝗏.
You like those?
No.
Yeah, I don't either.
Do not. If you're not familiar with them, they have this, like, I know you are, Liz, but they have this mechanism. They fit over your ear and kind of strap behind your head. I just personally find them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But here's the wonderful thing. You can take the unit, the puck, out of the stock ones. And hey, Bruce Rakowski, if you guys don't know the Bruce, you're missing out. He's one of my local buddies here. Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Welcome to the stream.
But I use them with a pair of Quest headphones, so the puck slides over the ear things. But I just love them. But a lot of people, if you're new to detecting, you probably start out just using the speaker on the control unit, which is fine. But I'll tell you what, when you go to any kind of headphones, wired, wireless, whatever, I don't know, Liz, for me, I find I really hear a lot more.
Yes.
With headphones. Are you the same way?
Oh my goodness. You hear stuff that it's impossible to hear when you have your speaker on. It's absolutely impossible. Oh my God, that mug is just killing me.
Okay, so here's a question for everybody real quick. I'm a big Abraham Lincoln fan. I just love Abraham Lincoln. When he died, when he was assassinated, they found, I think, 7 items in his pockets. Okay, a pair of glasses, some gloves. One item in particular was a currency, a currency bill in a $5 denomination. It was not from the United States of America. The question is, where was it from? And maybe pop some guesses in the chat.
Can I guess? Can
Absolutely.
I guess too? All right.
Yeah.
We'll wait to see the guesses, but I'm thinking that it was from, I'm going to say Canada.
Okay.
Wait.
Guess.
Yeah, I'm going to say Canada only because, I'm going to say Canada.
Yeah, I'll hold off on that.
Okay, yeah,
I'd like
hold
to
off.
see if anybody gets this. So go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. There's got to be smart people in that chat because that's just the way it is.
We're getting there's a few other Canadas. Mexico. That's an interesting guess.
That's plausible. That's very plausible.
𝗘𝗫𝗓𝗪𝗓𝗏. No, Charles Fitzpatrick. Ohio is not a country. I know they like to think they are. But.
Israel. We've got Mexico, Canada, Ohio. Hey, 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏 is in the house. 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓 is from Norway. Truly represented today. Europe is well represented. Thank you, 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏. Wonderful to have you here.
Okay.
Somebody said Confederate money.
Okay. Ding, 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 ding. That is the answer.
Oh, who said that? Ron's digging the Midwest.
Ron, way to go. Ron.
Wow, Confederate
Ron,
$5 bill.
Send me an email with your snail mail address at thehistorydigger@gmail.com. I'll pop something in the mail for you, okay, for guessing correctly. But yeah, think about it. So here's Abe, right? Jefferson Davis was on the Confederate States of America bill. So do you wonder, do you think he kind of looked at that and just kind of said, what are you thinking here?
Yes, definitely. He did this while he was.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your, what do you think? Why did he have a Confederate $5 bill in his pocket?
I think he was studying his adversary, you know, and probably kept it as a reminder. I mean, he's a fascinating man. I had an opportunity years ago to go tour the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Museum and Library in Springfield, Illinois. I'm going to say it's been open now 10 years, 10, 12 years, something like that. I could be off a little bit. But it's a really cool museum. They do a good job of blending like high tech with a lot of old memorabilia. There's actually a holographic exhibit there with Lincoln, but he was just, I mean, a fascinating man. There's a great book. I actually listened to it on audio by Doris Kearns Goodwin called A Team of Rivals. I just have to show you one other real quick here. So I paint rocks, as you know, Liz. That's a scary hobby. Let me see if I can show. This was one of my recent.
Oh, that's nice, Rob. Holy.
Thank you very much. So
wow.
I'm trying something here. I'm figuring if I pay homage to Mr. Lincoln, maybe I won't dig as many of his
of his stinking Lincolns.
Lincolns. But that's pretty cool.
Right on. Oh my goodness. So Rob, you're kind of fresh from a trip overseas that I think the majority of detectorists, treasure hunters dream of. You're kind of fresh from a trip to England. Can we talk about that?
Yes. So some of you may, through other podcasts, Liz's channel and others, there are several folks who have made this excursion over to England. There's many places to go over there, but there's one particular area, the Colchester Treasure Hunting Club. Colchester is the oldest town in Britain, so I'm told. It's up in the northeast area near the North Sea, where there's a gentleman there who coordinates these trips. They're called barn trips, barn hunts, where 7 people at a time stay in they call them barns. They're like bed and breakfasts. And you go out to hunt on land in Colchester that an individual there worked very hard to secure permissions to, thousands and thousands of acres. So I found out about this through a good friend named Tim Blank. He goes by the name 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏.
Oh.
And if you're not familiar with him, check out his YouTube channel. He's also on Instagram. But I want to say it was right before COVID. He went over there on, it might have been his 3rd or 4th trip, and found a gold Celtic ingot that dated back to like 10,000 years BC, as
Wow.
well as all kind of Roman stuff and hammered coins. And anyway, when I first heard about this, I was like, oh my gosh, Tim, tell me more. So I talked to him about it. He hooked me up with a gentleman named, he goes by the name 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of a few people that help coordinate the trips over there. So anyway, I realized pretty quickly you have to plan these things almost like a year out because the slots fill up so quickly. But so this past October, I found my way over there, and I'll be happy to tell you more about it. But let me just say, wow, wow, wow. Wow. Liz, I had such a great time. Okay. I'm actually going back twice next year.
Ah.
I'm going in April for 10 days, and I'm returning again in late September for a 7-day hunt.
Wow.
But of course you go over there. I'll just tell you a little bit what it's like. So
Sure.
I actually went over and arrived a few days early to get acclimated. I've traveled internationally before, and despite what you do, you have a couple days jet lag. So I was kind of hoping to get that out of the way. So I stayed in London and thought, well, let me go ahead and do some mudlarking.
Wow. Just that word is like, I have visions in my head.
And, I think you've had Niccola White on.
Yes.
In the past. So I'm
Yes,
going to tell you what, it was everything, you expect. For those not familiar with mudlarking, it's essentially, there are rivers, the Thames in the UK. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I think it all depends on where you live, but the Thames,
something like that.
Thames.
Yes, forgive me if I, but it is a tidal river. So, it raises and lowers as much as like 25 feet over the course of a day, so, twice a day it's lowered. And this is a very old river that is just, rich with all kind of artifacts. So mudlarking, people will go down to the foreshore, and it's essentially, it's a form of like treasure hunting, but you're really not able to dig, no metal detecting involved. You're just basically walking around, eyeballing things. So I actually did that, got a permit, and that was a blast. I plan on doing that again as well.
Did you find anything? What was your most coolest find? Or what are some of your finds, I guess?
Yeah, I wish I would have gotten there a little early. I underestimated the time to get there. I had to take like a 40-minute Uber to get there.
Ooh.
So my time was limited, but I did find some pipe stems, what may have been some Roman era pottery.
Wow.
And the pipe stems themselves are pretty cool. People find these completely intact, but that was kind of what I had on my trip there. It was great. But I plan on doing it again. But at any rate, we drove up to, it was picked up, went up to Colchester. It's about a 2.5-hour drive up to Colchester. And the way these trips work, as I said, thousands and thousands of acres there, but your barn leader essentially takes you out to the field in the morning. We packed lunches. We were on the fields, I think, by 7:45 a.m. And we detected, all the way through lunch, we would have walkie-talkies so we could communicate with one another and, hey, I found some silver, that kind of thing. But we would convene for lunch and then go back out until sundown.
Wow.
And, I will have a video posting in a week or so, but if you've seen the Detectorist show, it's called, the fields were incredible, the experience, the camaraderie. I mean, I just can't speak highly enough. The only downside I can think of, people said, what did you like about the trip? I can go on and on and on. The downside is it kind of set the bar a little high now.
Oh, for sure.
Liz, finding that Canadian penny or that 74 Lincoln just doesn't kind of cut it anymore.
You've been tainted for life.
But I found a ton. And I mean, I will say, it's not like the stuff jumps in your bags. You have to work for it. But my group and myself, we found some great stuff. I think I sent you a couple pictures of a few things, but I will not see these things for at least 8 months due to the treasure laws over there require that these things be reviewed. They could possibly be claimed, you know, as part of the museum. I think most of what I found, I'll be able to keep though.
Now, Rob, you did send us some pictures. I don't know that they are in any particular order, so we might be jumping around a little bit, but how about we, I just want to roll a very quick video and then we'll get to the pictures. All right with you?
Sounds good.
All right, have a look at this. My goodness, Excalibur Shovels, the official sponsor of Coffee with Liz. And I know that Rob likes Excalibur Shovels. Rob? There you go.
So this was not planned, folks. No resistance.
It was not. That's true. It was not.
I literally just purchased this. This is, I think, my 4th Excalibur shovel. And I have some smaller ones. I have ones with different blade configurations, but this is the new wide shovel that Casey makes. And, you know, one of the things I loved, I took my Excalibur over, my Merlin to England with me because it breaks down and you're able to pack it. But, and it worked fine, but I did wish I had a wider spade over there. And sure enough, I was like, he was reading my mind. He came out with this wider one. So anyway, thank you. But that's literally like a week old.
And if you would like to purchase an Excalibur shovel or hand digger, just want to say that no other manufacturer on the planet gives you 100% customization. You are able to pick the color. If you have a favorite team color or like an alma mater or something, you can get your shovel in that color. Just email Casey. Casey will work with you. And you also get to pick the length of your shovel, the length of the shovel if you want something shorter, if you're a little bit taller, as well as the handle. You can choose a D handle or a T handle, and you can change or pick your blade as well. Do you want double serrations? Maybe serrations on one side. Maybe you don't want any serrations. Maybe you want a wider blade. Casey lets you customize all of that. And like I said, you can't get there anywhere on the planet. If you purchase one at excaliburshovels.com, you're going to get 15% off if you enter the code Digging Canuck when you check out. So there you go.
Yeah, I can't say enough. His finish, but the craftsmanship on these are, I literally just sent him a note yesterday. I'm like, Casey, I just got it. It's incredible. You know, he is a great guy. And so, yeah, check him out. Surprisingly, you know, light for how durable it is, but I just love them. And I'm not paid for any of these. I bought these with my own money, nothing like that. So,
and yes, Friday when I was digging in the horse paddock or whatever, I'm not familiar with those terms. I'm a city gal, so I was digging there. There was something really, really deep, and John, my friend, came over and he started like really throwing some leverage down on the shovel, and he's like, "Oh my God, Liz, I don't want to break this." I said, "John, you're not going to break this shovel. Don't worry about it." And then we were able to finally pry the big iron out, but very, very strong shovel. And anything happens to your shovel, Casey's going to make it right. On the very, very small chance that anything's going to happen, Casey will make it right. All right, we have some, Rob, can we do your photos? Like I said, I'm not sure. I'm not sure the order,
but Liz, we will improvise here.
That's all we can do, Rob, is improvise. All right, let me hopefully share this stuff. All right. And then, oh my goodness. There you go. Let me just see if we can make ourselves a little bit bigger. There you go.
Okay. So let me tell you, I was digging at a local permission site. It happens to be an old Boy Scout camp that unfortunately announced that they were closing in the fall. And, you know, in the summertime, I actually dug this up and I did a little bit of research about this. It's probably something was made about 10 years ago. It's just a little pirate pin. And I purchased some similar ones as giveaways and stuff. But it made me think about that location. I have enjoyed this location so many times. I've found so many cool things there. It's big enough of a permission where I've been able to invite some friends. Knowing that it was going to close, just thought, you know what, let's see if we can have one last hurrah there. Thought that we'd get together with our spouses, maybe throw, you know, some hamburgers, hot dogs on the grill and have an outing. Well, that kind of turned into, why don't we just do a seated event and open this up for even more people? So my friends and I put together something called DIGGER. DIGGER had a pirate flair to it. And my most recent video I just published a day or two ago actually kind of gives you an overview of the seated hunt. And let me just say, if you've never been to a seated hunt, some people are, oh, bah, humbug, you know, that's heresy. I only do natural hunts. You know, whatever you enjoy, surely, but seated hunts can be a wonderful way to learn your machine, to meet other detectorists, to have some fun, win some cool prizes. And so if you get a chance, attend one, or think about actually putting one on. This wasn't terribly difficult to do, but that's what prompted me to send that. And I created something called DIGGER. It was a wonderful time.
Excellent. Excellent.
And then, you know, as I said, I have like 5 videos in the queue that I'm editing right now. I'm so behind. But one of the things I did was pop this up while I was on my trip. And so if you want to learn a little bit more about mudlarking, check it out. I mean, it's kind of a cousin to metal detecting. I think there's some similar interests. There are a ton of people that do this, far more informed than me.
Yes.
But this is a wonderful video and I just had such a great time doing it. I plan on doing it again.
Yeah, like I said, just the when you say mudlarking, it's like I think everybody wants to like dig up a pipe, like a complete pipe. Like Nicola digs these pipes that are like a foot long sometimes.
Oh,
and I think that just we just
yeah.
all wish we could do that.
And I'll tell you what, she's wonderful. Have you ever read those books called like I Spy? They're children's books, and you try to find all these things. Well, mudlarking, it takes a while to kind of like in metal detecting, it takes a while to tune your ears to the tones, you know. But in mudlarking, it takes a while to kind of tune in your eye, because she'll do this thing and she'll film. She sees something on the ground. She'll say, okay, do you see it? Do you see it? I'm like, no, no. And she'll zoom in. Do you see it? No.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. Coins, old bottles, military buttons. Just it's just fascinating. So check it out if you're looking for something over the winter to kind of, you know, binge watch.
Absolutely. And you said earlier that you still haven't done all your London your videos from England, correct?
Correct. So I have you know, when you're there for 7 days, you know, for those of you that, you know, create videos and stuff like that, it poses a different kind of a challenge. You know, do I do 3 videos? Do I do 1? You know, how much footage do I, and can I edit? So I purposefully, you know, I have very little what's called B-roll footage of, you know, the fields and stuff like that. Hardly any video of, oh, here's a signal. What could it be?
Yeah.
It's just hard to do that. So I have a lot of video of, oh, let me show you what I just found. And I'm going to try to use the video also to introduce people to the, you know, Colchester Treasure Hunting Club, that kind of a thing. So I'll talk about that.
Okay. What's this on the screen right now?
Liz, this is me booty for Digtober. So what, you know, you have a couple key questions, you know, you have to answer when you're putting together a seated hunt. First of which is a venue. You need a venue that can support the event. You also need to decide, is this or is this not going to be a sponsored event? You know, do you want to have people like XP, Mind Lab, Nocta? I chose not to do that. This was completely, you know, funded by my channel profits and my fellow detectorists. So we took a few months to acquire different booty, different prizes, the majority of which went into the ground, some of which were tied to a token that was buried, a numbered token. But then we just set upon, marketing this. And we tried to keep the expense relatively low. It was $75. There were 2 different hunts. That included a raffle ticket to for a chance to win a 1/10th ounce gold American coin. And so these are some of the things: old coins, old toys, Tootsie Toys, lead soldiers. I think we had about 1,200 items we buried.
Wow.
We literally put in the ground. Over 300 silver. But anyway, that was the Dig-October booty.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right,
So
you're gonna need one of these, right?
You're gonna need one of these. Again, we're bouncing back and forth here, but this is
we are.
permit. If you choose to go mudlarking, you are required in most areas there to have some type of a permit. This is actually good for 3 years. Wasn't terribly expensive. I know Digging with DIGGER also did a trip. Actually, it was the week before mine over there. She also went mudlarking. And in her recent video, guess what? She talks about how she was approached. So you will get checked. They do check if you have your permit. And thankfully, I had mine.
Right on, right on. What is this?
So what we're looking at here are a few finds now from my London trip. So the second half of my first day, I found gold. I found gold on my first day. This is a mid to late 1800s 9-carat gold locket. This is actually about the size of a dime. It is not large. And I was pumped because, it has you can kind of do a little bit of research based off of the maker's mark and so forth here. But, again, this was an exception. I don't think everybody finds gold on their first day, but I was fortunate enough to find this.
Right on.
And I think the third day in on my trip, I was in this large field. This is kind of an example. I mean, I'm just not showing you how big these fields are, but this is one of them. It happened to be a potato field that was rolled for the first time. They roll these, they turn these fields over. And each time, the dirt becomes smaller and smaller. This is after the first roll, so the clumps were fairly big. And it was raining about an hour before this. Don't know if that had anything to do with the halo effect from the rain or whatever. But I do have much of this on film, so you'll see this in the video. But I was swinging my detector, and I was coming back from the right to the left, and I heard on the backswing, I heard a faint signal. And on my dais too, let me just think here what it was ringing up here. I'm drawing a blank on the. It was like a 50. It was in the low 50s. And
okay.
So I went to find it, and I had found a silver coin that morning. Was pumped about that. Found an old thimble and something called a bale seal. Excuse me. So I dug this plug up, and I lost my signal. I was almost ready to give up. I thought, well, let me give this another try. What happened? I must have flipped it on its edge. I went in with the pinpointer, and oh my gosh, I've found this clod of dirt, and the rim of this coin was sticking out the edge.
Wow.
And turned my camera on and everything, and I'm like, oh, what is this? I thought it was brass. I thought it was something brass. And then it was just, oh my gosh. I called a fellow detector over. I said, is this what I think it is? And he, radioed it in, and next thing you know, there were like 20 people there, and we were all, oh my gosh, I was doing the gold dance. It was incredible. This was 1604.
Sorry, say that again.
A 1604 James I hammered gold coin. It's a crown coin. The front of the coin was a little toasty. It should have an image of James I on there. There's no discernible image. The back, however, that you're looking at right here, pretty decent shape.
Yeah.
So
nice.
I mean, it's just a bucket lister item for me.
Wow. Unbelievable. That's incredible. Oh, I know this guy.
Yeah, and you know what I just loved about it, as I said, you know, the finds were phenomenal, the friends were excellent, but you know, the beauty of the area is just incredible. There were times when you're on this massive field all by yourself. Other times you could see a few people, but
Mhm,
it's a different kind of detecting, Liz.
mhm, mhm.
I think
Yeah.
the whole time I was there, I dug maybe one pull tab, you know,
Mm,
but when you're
yeah.
swinging, there was a lot of like errant lead. You know, and I would say the signals like were fewer, but I was of course having to dig signals and numbers, tones I normally wouldn't dig back in the States.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
So I had kind of, my friend Tim gave me some good counsel. He's kind of like, hey, take everything you know and just leave it, and you know, ask questions and stuff. But this is just one. I might have another one in there, but I my wife Amy, she's the Beyond the Adventure person. That's our RV channel, by the way. That was Amy who said that. She was kind of she's I love the pictures, but you can stop sending them now because they were all like this. I was sending them to her.
Yeah,
all
that's a
out.
very, very vast field. Incredible. Yeah, very nice.
So these are some of my just some of my finds here. You know, we've talked about the locket here on the top left. What you have going over the right, that is I believe a military button. This is a silver coin. That is a ginormous hare, right? And you know, it's
Hair.
a hare, a rabbit. On the top left.
Oh.
and I'm going to tell you what, I'm familiar with the term hare, but I don't think I've ever seen a hare until I was over there. I mean, I'm in a cornfield one day and this thing jumps out, and these are ginormous.
Mm.
I mean, they're huge. And anyway, I found a lot of what we would call here colonial coppers.
Mm.
Okay. And over there, for some reason, they're referred to as greenies, but these are older coins, many of which are undatable. Some could go back to the, 16, 1700s, and they're, hate to say it, but they're almost like, another greenie,
Yeah.
The item on the bottom right, I'm not sure if that is a ring or some type of buckle. We will find out, but that was quite old. We've talked about the 1604 coin there. I think this is one of the, there's a few military buttons here. The third up from the bottom on the left, that is one of the whiter item right here. That
Right
is
there?
Yeah, that's a bale seal. And I wasn't too familiar with those, and maybe some folks in the chat can comment on these more, but these were basically used to kind of seal and authenticate like a bag or a box of goods, maybe a burlap bag or something, and they would, wrap this around the top and, clamp it shut. And this one has 1820 something on it.
Yeah.
And, there would be
There,
some different information about the the product or where it came from, but these are also found by a lot of people over there as well.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I think we have a couple more.
Okay. Now this is not something I found on my UK trip. I also have done some trips to these events hosted by DigStock. Probably many of you have heard of DigStock. I just came back from one in New York and made a pit stop on the way. I'll talk about it in a minute. But this is actually from March at the DigStock event, DigStock 3, I believe, in North Carolina, Greenville, North Carolina. And I happened to find this. This is what's referred to as a silver cut real. It's a Spanish real. And, maybe some of us, you've heard in books and stories, people talking about bits, 2 bits, 4 bits, 6 bits a dollar, or pieces of 8. Okay. This is what they're talking about. If you can go down, Liz, to the bottom here. There we go. So, in North America, before, at least in the United States, before we were even a country, right? And I'm sure similarly in Canada, people brought coins from their native lands, from Spain, from France, other places. And, to make the exchange of commerce easier, they would score these. They would score these such so they could break them off and make change. Okay. And this item is one of the pieces like on the bottom right. So it's a 1/8 of a silver real. And I found this on a colonial home site. Okay. That, interesting story on that find. I went back the next day to the same location, and about 30 feet away from where I found that cut real, I also found, I think there was a picture in there, you don't have to pop it up, but I found 1/2 of a silver cufflink from a British naval officer uniform. So the real was dated to 1721. The silver cufflink was 1730 something. So might have been the same individual, but interestingly, the cufflink I found in the plug of a hole that somebody had dug, failed to fill. They didn't fill their holes. And who knows, maybe they found the other half of the cufflink. They didn't find anything. But, you know, going back over an area that not only had been hunted, literally hunted the day prior, I find the cufflink right next to the cut real. So I'd like to think that it's the same. You know, was it an American patriot? Was it a British loyalist? You know, who knows? Was it the same family? Most likely, but
yeah, that's what I love about metal detecting is the stories behind the finds.
Yeah, this was that one I found with my Equinox, by the way. And the interesting thing that got rung up is a 16 on the Equinox, not a number you would normally associate with silver.
Yes, correct.
Sometimes the older silver can be less pure, and but that was a great find. I have a video of that one as well. But
so yeah, what's going on here, Rob?
So I popped this in here. A big thank you to my friend Robert Franks at the Diggtober event. He surprised me with this cake. I had just the channel had just topped 5,000 subscribers, and little did he know that I was right after Diggtober going over to London and finding the gold in that hole there at the bottom left. But let me tell you what, this was a carrot cake. It was delicious. It was delicious.
Right on, right on. And I think you kind of mentioned this, but you hosted an event.
Yes. So again, it was a great event. I think I learned a few things. I had some volunteers help me. Like I said, some seated events, they kind of depends on the location, what they allow you to do. A lot of seated events, the items are kind of tossed out. You know, maybe only buried like an inch or something. And we actually buried our items. And when I say buried them, some of my volunteers really buried them, maybe too deep. So, you know, learned a couple lessons, some things I would do differently.
Yeah.
Probably you have a variety of people at different levels attending these things. And some of our targets, I think, were almost too challenging. We went back the next day just to kind of do some cleanup and swung the detectors. And, you know, despite having 35, 40 people there the day prior, we still found like 5 tokens that people didn't locate, that kind of a thing. But I'm thinking about doing it again this next year. I may collaborate with somebody else on this. But, you know, again, I would encourage people to think about attending one, but also think about putting one on. You know, I mean, Liz, last year, you and I talked about this. My mantra for 2020 was, hey, if you have a permission and it's big enough to support somebody else, how about sharing it? Think about it. You will, you know, often, first of all, it's a great thing to do. You'll enjoy it. But sometimes, you know, those things pay themselves back in spades. So, you know, it's just a great way to share the hobby with others.
Wonderful. That is no more show and tell. No more Rob show and tell. But
I do have one other thing, if I can bring something
yes,
up.
absolutely.
Not a picture, but
okay, sure.
As many of us are dealing with the cold weather, you know, and you're cleaning your machines and you're working on research. I just wanted to share with you something you can think about, a different way to display your finds. Okay. Now, I don't know what, I've seen some really cool things. People have like relic rooms, they have shelves, coffee tables they display. I do a lot of things with these Riker cases. I have tons of these. But one of the things I did last year was actually put together a book.
Oh.
Okay. And in this book, what I do is share information about my find, you know, where it makes sense, I'll tell a little story about this. Okay. You get the idea. I did this through a company called Snapfish. Okay, Snapfish. They have again, I'm not affiliated with them. I have nothing to do with them. They have a special on right now. Okay, where you can get 80% off one of these books. I did this, I think, with a similar coupon last year. I don't know how many pages I have here. It depends on the number of pages, but I think this with the coupon cost like $35.
Wow, that's crazy.
So what I like about this is if you're not there, you know, I mean, I do like to talk about my finds and stuff like that, but we can't always be there to tell the story.
No. Now you created that sign. That's something of your doing that you just held up.
Yes, I did. So this is just one of my stickers. I have these in magnets and stuff I give away. Yeah, but this is an interesting way a different way, incremental way. It doesn't have to replace, you know, but I just wanted to share this with folks because I haven't seen too many people do this or talk about this, but it might be something fun to do. And again, relatively affordable, especially if you use a coupon.
Well, $35. I was waiting for you to say like 100 and something.
Yeah, I think normally, and again, it depends on the number of pages. I mean, without the coupon, it would have been more than double that. But right now, like I said, they drop these coupons a couple of times a year. And there's other, Shutterfly probably does the same thing, but I happen to just use Snapfish. So.
Now, Rob, you also, and you kind of mentioned this earlier, but you also have a channel, a YouTube channel where you chronicle your RVing. Can we briefly just talk about that? I know you kind of talked about it, but because I know there's a lot of people out there that are already into RVs, and if not, they're getting into that because it's a great way to travel. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so we purchased what's called a Class B RV, and you know, I didn't know any of this before we purchased an RV, but there's B's, C's, A's. You know, we've all seen the big things and the big trailers that people pull. Class B's are vans. We have a 22-foot van that has been upfitted by a company called Coachman, has a bathroom in it, a bed, sink, a stove, microwave, I mean, all this wonderful stuff. And we chose that size because it allows you to more discreetly travel, do what's called boondocking, where you can stay at certain locations off the grid. And so my channel, I benefited from a lot of people who had these similar YouTube channels about like, gosh, what's an Class A, a Class B, Class C? How do you RV? You know, where can you go? That kind of a thing. So we thought we'd pay it back a little bit and do something similar. So some of our videos are literally about the van, you know, how to work it. Others are more about the adventure. And the channel's called Beyond the Adventure. It's what's called a Coachman Beyond. That's the model. So play on the name there. But it's been wonderful. And, you know, I'll continue to do more of them. I will candidly say my only challenge has been you only have so much time. So that's taken away a little bit from my metal detecting videos. But yeah, so we use that channel again to just share the knowledge, you know, have some fun. And I do talk a little bit about my metal detecting adventures there. And in my metal detecting videos, you'll see me talk a little bit about the van as well. So I will say last thing is Mrs. History Digger Amy helps out quite a bit with the Beyond the Adventure channel. So she's more the architect behind that, and I'm focusing on the History Digger channel.
I just put both Rob's channels, the History Digger as well as Beyond the Adventure. The links are in the chat. So yeah, if you like traveling around in an RV, and how many of us have not thought about, hey, you know, if I go around in an RV trailer, you know, whatever, and bring my metal detector with me, can you imagine the places that you can detect that?
And you know, one of the places I stopped at was this crazy town called Hamilton, Ontario. I was coming back from Plattsville, New York, and I thought, gee, I think I know somebody in Hamilton. And I scratched a couple things off my bucket list this year, one of which was metal detecting with the one and only Digging Canuck. So we had a good time, didn't we, Liz?
Oh my goodness. We had a great, I gotta say that, you know, talking to somebody, watching their videos is one thing, But when you finally meet somebody who you've been watching for quite some time, I mean, I think the first thing that came out of my head was, or my mouth to you and to Amy was, "Can I get a hug?"
Yeah, absolutely. I want folks, and I'm going to say, Liz is not in person how she appears on screen. I'm going to break the news to you. No,
I am not.
She's even nicer. She is even nicer. However, she did encourage me to taste test this very strange thing. This what was that, Liz?
It was Thrills Gum. Thrills Gum. It's a Canadian like icon. And it tastes like soap. So, and they still make it. So I thought it would be great to have Rob and Amy taste the soap gum live. I did a little short and it's on my channel, but Rob, you liked the gum.
I did. I was wondering if, maybe that harkened back to my childhood, the fact that my mother, put the soap, I don't know, maybe I was used to it, but no, it was a blast. We had an opportunity. We detected for a couple hours. It was, we almost didn't, it almost didn't happen because of the rain.
Yeah. But the ground was a little wet and that's okay. Cause yes, we did manage to get together. And as well, gotta say, Rob and Amy, they gave me some, gifted me with some really, really nice things. I got a nice t-shirt, got a silver round, and then there was some Wisconsin cheese. Which
there was this, and there was also a return favor of, this is some kind of one of the items. Well, there's a story behind this. Liz actually gave me and Amy a box of cookies similar to this that somehow disappeared very quickly. I'm not sure how. Amy might have more information on that, but so I had to buy another box for Amy.
Yeah, I gave them a box of real maple syrup cookies, and I thought perhaps on their travel home, you might stop for a coffee and have a little nibble of a maple syrup cookie. But Rob,
no, you were very generous. That and some coins as well. So thank you. But it was a pleasure. And again, folks, if you get an opportunity to connect with someone like that live or otherwise, we got some great people in this hobby. Please make the connections.
Yes. So Rob, what's next for Rob the History Digger? What's next for the RV side? Any plans, big plans, anything like that?
Yes. So again, several events next year. Going to a seated hunt in February, a seated and natural hunt in February. The dig stock I mentioned and stuff. Next year, I'm challenging myself to focus on doing more research. I want to do some more research and actually some more door knocking. So, I have an approach I use that's quite successful. I create and send out these permission packets. I do research on older properties, farms that have sold, and I mail these things out with returned self-addressed stamped envelopes. You can see on one of my videos about this. And I get like a 10%, yeah, sure, come and metal detect, my property. But I did that during COVID for obvious reasons, just to not offend people going up, knocking on the door. But I'm going to try to do a little bit more targeted research and even some more targeted door knocking with some of my buddies here this next year. So, I try to, what's your New Year resolution for the coming year? I try to challenge myself. I am going to try to do a little bit more on Instagram with some reels and some shorts in those areas. And I'm contemplating some collaborative events with a few other, dare I say, metal detecting notable celebrities, that kind of a thing. So that's what I have going on.
Wonderful. And you kind of mentioned your social media. How can people follow not only the History Digger, but your RV travels?
Yeah. So for the RV, the only thing we have going there is the YouTube channel Beyond the Adventure, 3 words. For the History Digger, I do have a Facebook page. I also have Instagram and YouTube. I've held off on having a website, but who knows? We may do something like that up there. I also think this year too, but my last 2 years helped quite a bit with Wounded Warriors, and I'm going to probably do something a little different this year, either expand that or switch to supporting the T2T, Tunnels to Towers programs, just to kind of share this. So I don't know if folks know this, but you don't make a ton of money, at least I don't, on these YouTube videos. You can if you get way up there with subscribers, but everything I make, I either donated back to the Wounded Warriors, the Seated Hunt. This year, we're going to support another charity as well.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Rob, it's been an absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Thank you so very much for joining me today. If you're into RVs and treasure hunting, and who really isn't, check out Rob's both channels. Like I said, I dropped the links into the chat. Check out his channel, watch a couple videos, and I am sure you are going to get hooked. And I just want to say that, Rob, I think one of your coolest places that you've ever detected was when you did the Laura Ingalls Wilder residence.
Oh
like Little House on the Prairie.
Little House on the Prairie. Yeah, it's one of my favorite videos for so many different reasons. And I'll just say when I make my videos, I don't always go in with well, I'm going to have a video that looks like this. I sometimes let the finds dictate, the video. In that particular video, we found stuff that linked to several stories in the Laura Ingalls Wilder book, and that's how the video transpired. But no, thanks for that. Liz, I will say before we close here, I want to wish everybody a blessed Thanksgiving. This is one of my Thanksgiving. Okay.
Right on.
And Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So
thank you, Rob. I am just going to take you off, put you in the green room. I'd like to come back after I close the show, if that's all right.
Sounds good. Thanks, Liz.
Wonderful. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Great show today. I just want to say that 2 weeks from today, so not next week's show, but the week after that, I have the pleasure of chatting with Mike from Great Finds. We're going to talk about Civil War stuff, and he also does a little bit of thrifting on the side, so definitely join me for that. If you're watching this on the replay, please consider joining us live one day. I do Coffee with Liz every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would love to have you partake in the chat from treasure hunters from all over the planet. Everybody, my goodness, thank you so very much for joining me. If you're in the snowy part of the United States and Southern Ontario, please be safe. Bottom line, please be safe. Thank you for joining me. I will catch you all on the flip side. Right on.